You know Son Goku from Dragon Ball. You know his golden cloud. You know his extending staff. You even know his name. But what you probably don't know is that Goku isn't an invention. Goku is a faded copy of a real mythological being, a creature born from a stone, who declared war on heaven itself, erased his own name from the Book of the Dead, and came within a single move of overthrowing the throne of the universe. For 500 years he's been buried under a mountain, forced to eat iron and drink molten copper. And when he finally got out, the world was never the same. His name is Sun Wukong, and this is the story the anime never told you. Long before the Great Celestial Wars, there was a mountain. The Chinese called it Huaguo Shan, the mountain of flowers and fruit. And on its highest peak sat a single, massive stone. For thousands of years, this stone drank the energy of the sun, the moon, the heavens, and the earth. Until one day, it cracked open. What came out wasn't a god. It wasn't a demon. It was a monkey. But this monkey opened its eyes and shot two beams of golden light into the sky. So bright, they pierced the clouds and reached the throne of the Jade Emperor, the ruler of the universe himself. The Jade Emperor looked down, saw a small animal, and laughed. "It's only a beast," he said. "What harm could it possibly do?" That sentence would haunt heaven for the next 500 years. On Earth, the monkey thrived. He found a hidden cave behind a waterfall, passed a trial of courage no other monkey would attempt, and the tribe crowned him their king. He had a paradise, he had subjects, he had no enemies, and for hundreds of years, he was happy. Until the day he watched one of his oldest monkeys die of old age. The Monkey King, a creature who feared nothing, was paralyzed. Death, the one enemy he couldn't fight, the one limit to a perfect kingdom. So he did what no monkey had ever done. He built a raft, disguised himself as a human, and left everything he loved behind. He wandered the world like a beggar for 9 years, hunting the most dangerous secret in existence, immortality. And the master he was about to find would give him the powers that thousands of anime characters are still copying today. His search finally led him to a hidden mountain temple, and to a master so old, the records of his birth had been lost. The patriarch, Subodhi. Subodhi looked at this wild stone creature and saw something no one else had seen. Raw, undiluted potential. He took him in, and he gave him the name that would echo through 500 years of myth and 1,000 years of pop culture. Sun Wukong, the one who has awakened to emptiness. For 20 years, Wukong became the perfect student. He learned the secret of immortality. He learned to ride a cloud, the Jinduyun, the somersault cloud, that could carry him 54,000 kilometers in a single leap. That's once and a half around the Earth. But the master offered him a choice that would change everything. 2 paths of transformation. The 36 celestial changes, nobler, more refined. Or the 72 earthly changes, wilder, more chaotic, more versatile. Of course, Wukong demanded more. He chose the 72, a choice heaven would curse him for forever. With the 72 transformations, Wukong could become anything that existed, and every single hair on his body could be plucked, blown into the wind, and transformed into a perfect clone of himself, an army of one. But arrogance was always Wukong's flaw. He started showing off in front of the other disciples. He bragged, he boasted, and one day, the patriarch threw him out. "Go," Subodhi said, "and never speak my name again. Whatever you do from this point on, the world will blame me for teaching you." Wukong went home. He had no idea those words were a prophecy. Back at his home mountain, Wukong found his kingdom in ruins. A demon had taken his throne. The fight didn't last seconds. Wukong ripped a handful of hairs from his arm, blew on them, and 1,000 clones tore the demon apart. He was the king again. But now he was an immortal king, and an immortal king needed a weapon. He descended into the ocean, into the underwater palace of the Dragon King of the Eastern Sea. He demanded a weapon worthy of him. The Dragon King brought out swords, spears, halberds, forged by gods, thousands of pounds each. Wukong tossed them aside like toothpicks until he saw it. A black iron pillar at the center of the palace, bound in gold rings, used eons ago by the legendary Emperor Yu the Great to measure the depth of the oceans themselves. Its name? The Ruyi Jingu Bang, the as-you-wish gold-banded staff. Its weight? 17,500 pounds. No one had moved it in 1,000 years. Wukong walked up to it, and the pillar started to glow. It shrunk to fit his grip. It obeyed him. The Dragon King fell to his knees in horror. Wukong had just walked out of the ocean carrying his most sacred treasure. And then, Wukong stole something even bigger. That night, two demons came to his bedside. Black robes, chains, the reapers of the underworld. His time was up. They dragged his soul down to hell. But Wukong was no longer the scared little monkey who feared death. He broke his chains. He massacred the guards. He stormed into the Hall of Records, found the great book where every soul's lifespan is written, and erased his name. With a brush. Just like that. Then he flipped through the pages and erased every monkey from his tribe. Every single one. Sun Wukong didn't just achieve immortality. He hacked the source code of life and death. And when heaven found out, they made the worst mistake in the history of the divine universe. The Jade Emperor, the same one who had laughed at the stone monkey, was now terrified. The Dragon King had complained. The Lord of Death had complained. The reports were impossible. A single monkey, single-handedly humiliating two pillars of the celestial order. So the Jade Emperor tried diplomacy. He summoned Wukong to heaven. He offered him a noble title, Keeper of the Heavenly Horses. Wukong, flattered, accepted. He moved to heaven. He took the job seriously, until he found out what Keeper of the Heavenly Horses actually meant. He was a stable boy, the lowest rank in the entire celestial bureaucracy. It was a trick. Wukong went berserk. He shattered the stables, declared war on heaven, and flew back to Earth. There, he raised a banner with 5 characters carved into it. The Great Sage, equal to heaven. Heaven's response was massive. 100,000 celestial soldiers, the 4 heavenly kings, the child god Nija, the most feared warrior in the sky. Wukong defeated all of them, alone, with one staff. So heaven tried diplomacy again. They gave him the title he wanted, Great Sage, equal to heaven, and assigned him to guard the garden of immortal peaches. Peaches that ripened once every few thousand years, and granted yet another layer of immortality to whoever ate them. Wukong ate every single peach. Then he crashed the banquet of the gods, drank all the celestial wine, and stumbled into the laboratory of Lao Tzu, the highest Taoist god, where he found the alchemical pills of immortality. He swallowed them like candy. By the end of that night, Sun Wukong wasn't just immortal. He had stacked layer after layer of invulnerability on top of himself. He wasn't a god anymore. He was a glitch in the universe. Heaven sent everything. 100,000 soldiers, 28 constellations, the 4 heavenly kings, and finally, their greatest warrior, the god Erlang Shen, with his 3-eyed gaze and his heavenly hound. The battle shook the cosmos. Wukong and Erlang Shen transformed back and forth. A fish, a hawk, a temple, a mountain. It took a cheap trick to bring Wukong down. While he was distracted, Erlang's hound bit him in the leg. Heaven's soldiers swarmed. They dragged him to the executioner's block. Swords broke against his skin. Spears bent. Lightning bounced off him. Fire couldn't burn him. In desperation, they locked him inside Lao Tzu's 8-trigram alchemy furnace and lit the sacred flames. 49 days, the hottest fire in existence. Anything inside would be melted into pure essence. On day 50, the furnace exploded. Wukong stepped out, stronger, and now his eyes glowed gold. He had new powers, the fiery eyes, golden pupils, vision that could see through every illusion, every disguise, every lie in the cosmos. Heaven had tried to kill him, heaven had failed, and Wukong was now coming for the throne itself. The Jade Emperor had nothing left. His armies were destroyed. His prisons couldn't hold him. His executioners couldn't kill him. So he did the only thing left. He prayed to the one being in the universe more powerful than himself, the Buddha. The Buddha didn't raise a weapon. He didn't summon an army. He just looked at the monkey and made a bet. If you can jump out of the palm of my hand, he said, the throne of heaven is yours. Wukong laughed. He could cross the world in a single somersault. The Buddha's hand was barely a foot wide, so he jumped. He soared past the clouds, past the stars, past the borders of time and space. He flew until he reached the edge of the universe itself. 5 gigantic pillars, marking the end of everything that existed. To prove he'd been there, he pulled a hair from his body, turned it into a brush, and signed his name on the middle pillar. Then he flew back, victorious. He landed back in the Buddha's palm. I did it, he said. The throne is mine. The Buddha smiled. Turn around, he said. Look at my hand. The 5 pillars at the edge of the universe were the 5 fingers of the Buddha's hand. In all his speed, in all his power, in all his cosmic arrogance. Wukong had never left the palm of the divine. Before he could even react, the Buddha closed his hand. he flipped it over, and the palm became a mountain, the five-element mountain, crashing down on Sun Wukong and burying him alive. For 500 years, the most powerful being in mythology, the monkey who defeated heaven's entire army, was forced to lie still, eating iron pellets, drinking molten copper, unable to move, unable to die. Not defeated by strength, defeated by illusion, by his own ego, by enlightenment. The monster had been tamed, but his real journey, the one that would change the world, hadn't even started yet. Because 500 years later, a young Buddhist monk named Tang Sanzang would walk past that mountain on his way to India. But that is a story for the next chapter. If you want to see what happens when Wukong gets out, the journey to the west, the monk, the demons, and the moment a god learned humility, subscribe. I'm posting a new myth every week, and every single one of them is hiding inside the anime and games you already love. This is Ancient Legends, and the next legend is already waiting.